Do you do you want to touch me? What the fuck?
We're born in the moonlight. Ain't no fair to say. Can't breathe in the sunlight.
Hello, Aromas. This is Aromie here, and welcome back to Red Embrace Hollywood. I actually kind of forgot what happened last episode, but I had to rewatch my thingy a little bit. And we're actually chasing Keith because he made a whole, not really dramatic scene, but a scene. Heath was huddled on the ground beside a dumpster, hugging his knees to his chest and gently rocking back and forth. Beside him, I glimpsed a shining needle and smelled something bitter. I also updated my game finally. I forgot you guys told me that I had an old version of this game, so I had to download the new version. Heath, please tell me what's wrong. Are you really what? So much for blood not ending up on the floor, huh? I think that's kind of a joke. Can you tell me what's wrong? Instead of raising his head to look at me, he only lowered it further in the reclusive, self-loathing way of someone who didn't want to be seen. I don't think you should be here, Michiko. I'll be fine, don't worry about me. Please don't push me away, Heath. I'm not leaving you until you tell me why you're out here. Quit it with this bullshit, you're obviously not fine. I'm not leaving until you tell me why you're out here. That's a very romantic thing to say. For a long few moments he went quiet, giving off such a defensive atmosphere that I almost wondered if he'd refuse to talk to me. See, I'm trying to not baby him too much, but I feel like I'm also like fucking myself over by choosing such adamant choices. But at last he reluctantly shifted over a little, an unspoken acceptance for me to sit beside him. I lowered myself onto the cold asphalt, its icy touch seeping through my clothes. He kept his face turned away, as if still unable to look me in the eyes. I can't believe this is happening, that you're here comforting me in an alley after I ran away from everyone. You didn't think I would chase after you? He exhaled sharply, a sound that didn't quite make it into a laugh. It's so pathetic and unbelievable. Even the worst soap operas have scenes that are better than this. It's not pathetic. Stuff like this happens to all of us. What made you run away like that? Sure, it's cheesy as hell, but life's cheesy sometimes. I really love that one, because I love cheesy shit, so let's do it. Yes, but it was never supposed to be this ugly. This is ugly? His fingers ran along a piece of glass stuck in his bootlaces, pulling out the bloody fragment, dropping it onto the asphalt. Back there, inside, for a moment, I felt like I didn't exist. No, that isn't it. I felt like it wouldn't matter whether I existed or not. He touched his face with trembling fingers, as if to make sure his own body was still there. That if I disappeared tomorrow, no one would ever notice. Are you shitting me? I think I would notice, and Charisse. What made you feel like that? I know what you mean. What the hell are you talking about? Of course people would notice. I mean, I would notice. But I feel like that's not very a comforting choice. What made you feel like that? You really have no idea. Because Charisse didn't say anything about you? No, I don't understand. Hopelessness because of the war. It's probably Charisse, right? It is, right? That's the face? He glanced at me for a split second, eyes wide and dismayed, before letting out a quiet, apologetic sigh. That's unfair of me. I shouldn't expect you to. I'm sorry. Despite his sheepish smile, I could still hear a trace of disappointment in his voice. I was right? I was never a good actor, Michiko. But now, every day of my life, all I do is pretend like I fit in. He nodded towards the direction of Saturnalia, though I had the sense he was referring to our whole society. They all knew I'm not good at the diplomatic work, or even the small task Charisse gives me. It's work she gives me out of pity, because she knew my mother. She knew your mother? Charisse loved her movies and admired her elegant voice in interviews, so she hated the idea of my mother rotting away as she aged. It was Charisse who offered to turn my mother herself, so in more ways than one she feels responsible for me. That's insane. How did Charisse get the nerves to talk to his mom like, hey, you want to be a vampire? I couldn't tell if he was accusing her or defending her, but judging from the uncertain look in his eyes, he didn't know either. He paused for a moment, then leaning his head back against the cold concrete and staring at the sky. In the silence, I heard sirens echoing from somewhere far away, mingling with the dull hum of distant traffic. When every day is one long game of pretend, just pretending you belong, it gets a little hard sometimes. His gaze reluctantly shifted towards me, guilty and ashamed, as if he expected me to lash out at him at any moment. That's why after I was turned, I started drinking smoke, and it's why he filled my bathroom with syringes and junkie blood. Wait, what? That's in your bathroom? What? We gotta change that, sir. It's why I'm so jealous of you, even though I love you, because everyone here sees you, and I'm like a ghost. Because I don't know who I'm supposed to be anymore. What? So are you jealous of me? That isn't true. Heath, people care about you. I care about you. How can you figure out what you're supposed to be? It sounds like you're wallowing in self-pity instead of making changes. God, that is such a rude-ass answer. But that's technically the answer. But there are people that care about him. I do. But what if I can't care about myself? Well, you know, self-love is very important too. You can't love yourself. You're not gonna let anyone else love you. If even I can't care, how can I expect anybody else to? I understand. He gave me a hollow smile, lifting his shoulders in a lackluster shrug. I've always felt like I'm a different person to everyone I talk to. Excuse me. I can't help myself from wanting to please them, to make them love me, no matter how hard I try to just be myself. So I'm not sure who I am sometimes, and sometimes I wonder if there ever was a me. Are you trying to seduce everyone you see? Not everyone's gonna love you. We all have to face that fact. Not everyone in the world's gonna love us. As he trailed off into a tired silence, I realized how very different he seemed from our first meeting. There was no coy smirk, no strategic push into my personal space, no theatrical tone in his voice, just a quiet desperation. But it's different when I'm with you, Chico. Everything you say and do, the way you act, it's so effortless, so natural. The shame slowly washed away from his face, his eyes taking on a reverent gleam. You give me hope and make me happy just by being yourself, and I can never get enough of it. It's better than any other feeling I can remember. Even if you can never love me the way I love you, I'm so happy I got to meet you. What the fuck do you mean? I love you very much. I just didn't like how our confession worked out. Despite Heath's word, there was something resigned and distant in his smile. You figure out your path one day and I'll be there to help you. I love you the way you are. You don't need to act like anybody else. I'm not a hero, Heath. I'm a normal girl and I struggle just like you do. Is your love for me helping you or hurting you? Ooh, I want that. I want that choice. Right there. Is your love for me helping you or hurting you? What? A flash of alarm struck Heath's face. I don't understand. How could it hurt me? With the defensive edge creeping into his voice, he gently shook his head. If you see me as a superhero, what will happen if you realize I'm not? You're too distracted by me and other people to understand yourself. What if I'm not the superhero you expected? I don't expect you to be a superhero, Michiko. I never did. Because I could love your vices as much as your virtues, maybe even more. Like a missionary trying to sell me myself as a god. He put on a confident smile, lightly touching my arm. Please believe me, Michiko. Believe me when I say you've only done good things for me. He sounded so self-assured, so happy that it was hard to doubt his words. Yet somewhere deep inside my gut, I felt a faint sense of unease. Like he's just using me as a reason for him to live? That's bad. You should live for yourself. Michiko. Emotion trembled in Heath's voice, but I couldn't tell if he wanted to cry, laugh, or pull me into an embrace. His hand slowly drifted to my cheek, fingers tracing across my skin as delicately as if he were cradling a glass doll. I wish I could tell you how I feel right now. Why can't you? But I don't think I could put it into words. Before I had a chance to reply, "Oh, we get another kiss? Is this the first kiss where he is not high?" He suddenly leaned forward, covering my mouth with his. It was the hardest kiss he'd ever given me, raw and desperate, his fangs nearly piercing into my lip. Excuse me! I have a lip ring somewhere. I wear a lip ring, right? My character. The next moment it was over, but instead of pulling back, Heath stayed close enough that our lips brushed together when he spoke. Right now, more than anything I want to... Do you want to touch me? What the fuck? I'll hold you, Heath, but I don't want anything more. Pull him into another room. I'm still not over. Do you want to touch me? No, we're not doing that out in fucking public, kids. I'll just kiss him again. I finished each sentence for him, closing the small gap between our lips. I feel like saying anything would be way too fucking awkward. My hungry kiss seemed to send a shiver through his body, which pressed neatly up against mine as our tongues swirled together. But again, he broke it off, pulling a few inches away from me. You see, you're playing with my heart doing this. What are you doing? You want me through your words, but through actions you don't. You're disconnected. And Chico, I need... Oh wait, you need me. I need you so badly. But a flash of hesitance froze his features, but the next moment he seemed to regain his resolve. We're numb to a lot of pain, which means we're numb to most pleasure too. What does that mean? And to feel what we do, you have to what? Wait, I don't understand. They're numb to a lot of things, also pleasure is one of them? So... these vampires out here that are partying with girls and having sex with them don't feel any pleasure. That's sad. Slipping one hand inside his jacket, he pulled out something to hold before me. In his palm rested two small objects. Bro! You telling me we're to shoot up right now? I'm not. No. A fresh gleaming syringe and a small black bottle. It's a mixture. Some stimulant, some ketamine. Just the right amount to make you feel something. You literally don't feel anything kissing me? Please, take it with me, so I know you can feel it too. No! I am not! Fuck that! Alright, let him inject me? Alright, but let me do it myself. Pretend to shoot up? No, Heath, we don't have to take it to feel something. I won't. I can't do drugs. My dad told me to not do drugs. I will not do drugs, even though my dad did drugs, but... drugs as in just cigarettes, okay? He didn't do the crazy shit. At least I don't know about that. No, Heath. We don't have to take it to feel something. But no, bitch! You have addiction problem. No, we cannot do that. I'm sorry. I can't do this without it. No, you bitch! Oh my god! Then maybe we would better not. Alright? I'm not... No. I'm very adamant about this. Very adamant on the no drugs thing, okay? No vaping either. If you guys... well, then again, I can't tell you what to do, but... I prefer no drugs. His fingers curled tightly shut around the syringe and bottle. He didn't try to hide his disappointment, but he didn't argue either. Closing his eyes and slightly inclining his head. I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. I don't know, but you like drugs. Of course we shouldn't do anything. We're in public anyway. Yeah, and that. Shooting up in public in a fucking alley. He sank his teeth to his bottom lip, making it turn even paler. For a moment, he didn't seem to have the courage to say anything. Heath, you're making me very upset with your whole obsession with this syringe stuff. Like, I thought you were the one. Maybe Randall or even Marcus is gonna be my guy at the end of this route game. If it's not too much to ask, could we just stay here a little while? Pulling his legs up against his chest, he turned his gaze towards the dark sky. We don't need to talk. I think maybe we shouldn't. I'm not even talking. Not silently leaning my head back, put my arm around Heath. Is he gonna push me away? I feel like I'm like stopping him in every action that he wants to do. Like he wants to shoot up drugs and make love, but I'm like, no, fuck that. Gonna put my arm around you or are you gonna push me away? Curled my arm around Heath's waist, pulling him against my side. After a moment, he let his head rest on my shoulder, a little hesitantly at first, but eventually nestling close. For some reason, he seemed so small and thin in my arms, like a paper doll. He looked the same as he always did, but as he curled up beside me, I had the sense I was holding something very fragile. Are you really telling me they don't feel, like, pleasure? That's something they lack too? That sucks. We spent the rest of the party like that, away from the noise and chatter. There wasn't a heartbeat, a breath, or an ounce of body warmth between us, and yet I felt like we were more alive than all of the smiling vampires inside. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one feeling that. I don't think Heath is feeling any of that. Eventually, when Cherise came out to find us, Heath and I had to part ways. But as he waved goodbye to us, standing at the entrance to his bar, I thought I saw a small smile on his face. If not from hope, then from belief. I feel like this is the end. It's the end game. Did I finish? Because that would be so weird. That would be a weird way to end the game. A faint trip echoed from somewhere inside the garage. And this is where I'm actually going to stop for today. because we have hit the time limit. I don't know how to feel about Heath. I really love Heath. In the very before this game was even completely finished, I was really die-hard Heath. But now that we are learning more about him, like how he likes to take drugs to feel something and all that, I'm a person that really don't like drugs. I dislike it. I don't prefer to hang out with people that do drugs. No, nothing against them. They may be the best person in the world, but I just prefer to be away from people that do negative things like that. So having to deal with Heath doing all these things is very difficult. Luckily, I'm in a relationship where my boyfriend doesn't do drugs, so I don't have to deal with this situation here where an addict. I don't know. I don't feel comfortable with Heath right now. I kind of want to just go to somebody else's route. But I'm praying once we get near to the ending that Heath is gonna hopefully feel more confident in himself and actually stay away from the drugs, because he's depending on drugs right now. Once he's not depending on drugs, he's gonna depend on us, so that's just us worse. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.
Touch it,